Your friends? Their feeds are flooded with selfies, check-ins everywhere, morning outfit flexes, updates about what they had for lunch. And you? Default avatar, 3 photos from 5 years ago, profile practically empty. People think you're shy. Family asks, why don't you ever post anything? Coworkers assume you have no social life. But this isn't a sign of low confidence. You're not hiding. And it's definitely not because you have nothing worth showing. The truth is, how you treat social media reveals something much deeper about your psychology, about how you define self-worth, about the boundaries you set between public and private, about your relationship with validation. And there are 4 types of people who don't post their photos on social media. 2 types are completely healthy. This is strength, not weakness. 1 type needs healing, and recognizing it is the first step to freedom. And 1 type is making a statement, refusing to play the game society forces them to play. Maybe it's you. Maybe you're watching this video because you see yourself in it. This video will help you self-diagnose. Are you private by choice or by fear? And the answer will change everything. Let's start with the first group, people who have found what many spend their entire lives searching for. They're called the secure self, people who are confident from within. And here's what's interesting. They don't post photos on social media, but not because they're ashamed, not because they lack confidence. It's the complete opposite. Imagine this. You go traveling, capture the perfect photo, beautiful lighting, perfect angle, stunning background. You look at it, smile, then keep it in your phone's gallery. You don't post it. Not because it's not good enough, not because you're afraid of judgment, simply because you don't need anyone to know. In psychology, this is called internal self-esteem, self-worth that comes from within, not dependent on external validation. Research by Edward Deci and Richard Ryan on self-determination theory shows people with internal self-esteem are less affected by likes, comments, or follower counts. They don't need red hearts from strangers to know who they are. And here's what's important. If you already know your worth, you don't need strangers to confirm it through a photo. Think about this. Every time you post a photo, your brain is waiting for dopamine from notifications. Likes equals reward. Few likes equals punishment. This is the loop many people get trapped in. But people in type 1? They've escaped that loop. Not through sheer willpower, but by finding their source of self-worth from within. You might be wondering, is this me? If you take a great photo and feel okay keeping it to yourself, no sense of lack, no need for anyone to know, you might be type 1. And if so, you don't need to do anything. This is strength, not weakness. You already have what many spend their entire lives searching for, peace with yourself. But there's another group. They don't post not because they found peace. They don't post because of strategy. The second group, the privacy guardian, the boundary protector. They understand something many overlook. In this era, every photo you post is a piece of data you're giving away for free. Think about this. Every photo you post, algorithms are learning where you are, who you're with, what you look like from different angles. Facial recognition? It's storing your face in a database. In 2023, a Pew Research study found that 79% of internet users are concerned about how their data is being used, but only 9% actually change their behavior. Privacy guardians are part of that 9%. They're not paranoid, they're aware. In psychology, this is called boundary protection, the ability to set clear boundaries between what's private and what can be shared. And here's the important perspective. Not posting isn't hiding, it's protecting. You have the right to decide who gets to see your life. This isn't secrecy, this is healthy boundaries. If you're type 2, audit privacy settings on all your social media accounts. Ask yourself before posting, what am I sharing, with whom, and why? Remember, you don't owe anyone your online presence. An empty profile can be the strongest statement that you understand the value of data, and you choose not to give it away. Type 1 and Type 2, both are healthy. This is strength, not weakness. But the next group is different. They don't post not because they've found peace, not because they're protecting privacy, They don't post because they've been hurt when they did. The third group, the wounded hider, people who have been hurt. And this is the group that needs the most compassion. They don't post photos not because they've found peace, not because they're protecting privacy. They don't post because they've been hurt when they posted. Imagine this. You're 16 years old, posting a confident photo in a new outfit. Within 10 minutes, the first comment arrives. You're that fat and still dare to wear that? You delete the photo immediately, but the damage is done. Screenshots have been shared in group chats you didn't know about. The next week, you hear people giggling as you walk by. One time, just one time, but enough for your brain to learn, being seen equals danger. Or maybe you posted a travel photo, proud because this was your first trip after 3 years of grinding at work. But the comments weren't beautiful, but everyone's been there already, or worse, no one reacted at all. In psychology, this is called social evaluation anxiety, the fear of being judged by others. Research by Dr. Leary, 1983, on sociometer theory shows when the brain receives rejection signals, few likes, negative comments, it triggers pain similar to physical pain. And when that pain repeats, the brain learns to avoid. This is called learned avoidance, a self-protection mechanism. Not posting equals not getting hurt equals safe. Perfect logic. But there's a cost. You're hiding your true self not because of choice, but because of fear. If this is you, hear me clearly. This is not your fault. Your brain is protecting you, and for many years, it's done that job well. But now, that armor might be keeping you from real connection. Here's the crucial difference. Type 1 and 2, private by choice. They freely choose. Type 3, private by fear. They feel trapped. If you're type 3-1, identify the trigger. Write down the first time you felt unsafe posting. Name it. 2. Share in a safe space, not on your feed. Start with one person you trust. 3. Start small. You don't need to post a selfie right away. Maybe just a thought, a quote. Test the waters. 4. Remember, healing doesn't mean you have to post. It just means you have the right to choose, not be controlled by fear. Your empty profile isn't the problem. The fear behind it is. Type 3 needs healing, and healing is possible. But Type 4? They're doing something completely different. The fourth group? The cultural rebel. The one who refuses to play. And this isn't weakness, this is a statement. They see something many don't. Social media has become an arena for performance culture. People don't post to connect, they post to flex. Think about New Year's. Family group chats flooded with photos. New house, new car, kids making the honor roll, new promotion, fancy vacation. The unspoken pressure. You need to show something. People keep asking. But cultural rebels look at that and say, I refuse. Not because they have nothing to show, not because they've lost the game, but because they refuse to play it. In psychology, this relates to autonomy versus social conformity. Research by DC and Ryan, self-determination theory, shows people with autonomous motivation, motivation from internal values, are less affected by peer pressure. They define success their own way, and they don't need anyone to validate it. Here's the important reframe. Not posting isn't losing the culture wars. It's refusing to play a game where the rules are written by people you don't respect. You don't owe anyone a performative life. You don't owe your family proof of success. You don't owe society a highlight reel. If you're type 4, 1. Define success your own way. Write down 5 things that make you proud. No one needs to know. 2. Set boundaries with family/friends. I don't post much is a completely valid answer. 3. Remember, liberation doesn't mean fighting against everything. It just means living by your values, not someone else's. Your empty profile isn't a sign you're lacking anything. It's a statement that you've chosen a different way of living. 4 types, 4 completely different reasons. Secure self. found peace. Privacy guardian, protecting boundaries. Wounded hider, needs healing. Cultural rebel, refusing to conform. But the most important question isn't which type are you? It's, are you private by choice or by fear? 4 types of people, 4 completely different reasons. Let's look at them one more time. The secure self. They don't post because they've found self-worth from within. No need for likes, no need for comments, no need for validation from strangers. This is strength. The privacy guardian. They don't post because they understand the value of data. In an era where every photo is a piece of information you're giving away for free, they choose to protect their boundaries. This is also strength. The wounded hider. They don't post because they've been hurt. Body shaming, cruel comments, mocking screenshots. Pain taught them being seen equals danger. This is pain and needs healing. The cultural rebel. They don't post as a statement, refusing the flex game that society forces them to play. This is liberation. And here's the most important question. Are you private by choice or by fear? Types 1, 2, 4, they choose. They have the power to decide. Their empty profile is a statement about who they are. Type 3, they feel trapped. They didn't choose not to post. They're afraid to post. An empty profile doesn't mean you're hiding. It could be how you protect what's most precious, the truth about who you are. But it could also be armor hiding wounds that haven't healed. #at META, quote, pause, quote, colon, quote, sex, quote, colon, 1.0. Only you know where you are on this spectrum. So if you're one of these 4 types, what's next? Here's the roadmap for each type. Type 1, the secure self. If you're type 1, continue. You've found what many spend their entire lives searching for. Peace with yourself. Self-worth from within. This isn't a problem to fix. This is strength. Type 2, the privacy guardian. If you're type 2, regular audits. Review privacy settings every 3 months. Ask before sharing. What am I sharing? With whom? And why? Remember, you don't owe anyone your online presence. Type 3, the wounded hider. If you're type 3, this is the most important part. Identify the source. Write down the first time you felt unsafe sharing. Name it. Share in a safe space, not on your feed. Start with one person you trust. Remember, healing doesn't mean you have to post. It just means you have the right to choose, not be controlled by fear. Type 4, the cultural rebel. If you're type 4, define success your own way. Write down 5 things that make you proud. No one needs to know. Set boundaries. I don't post much is a completely valid answer. Remember, liberation doesn't mean fighting against everything. It just means living by your values, not someone else's. Universal takeaway. There's no right or wrong way to exist on social media, only authentic or not authentic. And now, you have the language to name your behavior. You have the roadmap. Now, the final question. Which type are you? Not to label yourself, not to rank, but to understand. Ask yourself, when you don't post photos, how do you feel? At peace? You might be type 1 or type 2. You've found self-worth from within, or you've set healthy boundaries. Afraid? You might be type 3. And this isn't your fault, but recognizing it is the first step to freedom. Liberated? You might be type 4. You're refusing to play the game, and that's a valid choice. #meta. Sex 1.0. And here's the most important point. When you do post photos, who do you do it for? Do you post to connect with people who actually matter? Or do you post to be seen by people you don't even know? If the answer is connect, posting or not posting is both okay. You know your reason. If the answer is seen, maybe it's time to ask, why? An empty profile doesn't mean you're hiding. It could be how you protect what's most precious, the truth about who you are. and only you know what that truth is. 4 types of people, 1 question. Have you found your answer? Secure self, found peace. Privacy guardian, protecting boundaries. Wounded hider, needs healing. Cultural rebel, refusing to conform. #Meta 1.0. 4 reasons, 1 behavior. And now, you have the language to name it. If this video helped you understand yourself better, subscribe so you don't miss the next psychology videos. And comment your type below. Who are you? Type 1, Type 2, Type 3, Type 4, or a combination? Thank you for watching. See you next time.